Well, good morning, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. If only I could wear green.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, the whole chroma key thing.
That old thing.
Yeah, you could have just had the maps on your chest this morning.
You know, that would have been nice. Yeah. That would have been nice to have it on there. Hopefully you guys are having a much better, you had a much better Sunday for celebrating St. Patrick's Day as opposed to today.
A little gloomy out there.
Soggy and
little soggy.
Soaking rains.
Yeah, check out the graphics, we've had quite a bit of rain already, closing in on 2 inches of water in parts of eastern Mass, and it's still going.
It's still going.
Still going.
You know, it's earlier when we completed the honor show and then we switched over to the stream. Boston had, I think, 1 1/10 inches, and now we're over 1.5 inches already. And as Terry was just saying, guys, we still have more rain on the way for the next several hours or so.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you never run a rainy Monday is always tough, especially on a semi-holiday. But as we go into spring, and I think we mentioned this last week, as we go into spring, it is good to have a soaker every once in a while, because this is the time we start to think about the gardens and the lawns, and you don't want to go into spring with a rainfall deficit. And we've got a little bit of one still lingering from last year. You can see moderate drought still technically in most of the area, if not abnormally dry. So this should help that out, and more rain later this week. It's good to have a spring rain, I think.
But you know what? Even the spring showers that we've had, like Saturday was nice, relatively speaking. Yesterday, not bad. I mean, we were in upper 60s yesterday. But today we're still mild. Tomorrow will be a little bit cooler as well. So we'll take the good with the bad. Yes, we have some rain out there, but at least temperatures aren't that bad.
Yeah, and by the way, yesterday
it could be snowy.
The high in Boston, yeah, absolutely. The high in Boston yesterday ended up at 69, so we still have not hit 70, and it doesn't look like we're going to get 70 this week. So we'll wait a little longer for that. But as you can see, the rain just kind of hangs around all day long in eastern Mass. Pretty crummy. Across central Mass, just kind of stays gloomy and cloudy. But even through the overnight period, it just takes forever for this boundary to kind of move east. Probably still be some rain on the Cape tomorrow morning. So if you're looking for sunshine, you're gonna probably have to wait until later Tuesday morning or even well into Tuesday afternoon in parts of the coast. So.
I think it'll still be veiled, especially once you get west of the city through about at least maybe 3 p.m. Some veiled sunshine, but still going to be drying things out here as well. You'll also notice after today, there is actually going to be a north wind, which is actually be more of a stabilizing force for us for tomorrow. So even though we'll have some clouds hanging around, we'll still likely be in the upper 40s, low 50s, south and also east of town. But certainly inland areas could be spiking back, 10 degrees above average again.
Yeah, I mean, average at 45, 46 degrees right now. So these temperatures are pretty good. I mean, obviously we're close to average on the Cape because of the onshore wind, but overall, I mean, not too bad for mid-March. Upper 50s, it couldn't be a 60 here or there tomorrow. And even a little bit milder on Wednesday. Again, winds you can see those wind arrows sort of tending to be onshore a little bit. Not unusual this time of year. We start talking about sea breezes. The ocean's still pretty chilly, so pretty typical to have a 10 or 15 degree difference from the coast to inland, but around 495, 60 to 65 degrees on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of nice with plenty of sunshine on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably the pick of the week, I guess.
I think so. I almost put it on there this morning. I think actually will be the pick of the week. Although Thursday isn't that bad. Yeah. It's going to be the first day of spring. Wednesday is going to be a great final act closing out winter officially.
So I am starting to feel this. I know you said you don't really have spring allergies, right?
Ragweed, that's my public enemy.
Oh, right. So that's later in the summer. But I have this has been. I can verify that this is happening. Right now it's the tree pollen, and today's not bad because of the rain. But we will be spiking for the first time this year into the high category this week for some of the tree allergens. So don't be shocked if you're rubbing your eyes or sneezing a little bit. It's that time of year,
Do they just kind of cause you to feel like you're in a cloud?
Yes, I am in a cloud as we speak, actually. Yeah, no, seriously, a little stuffy, kind of foggy.
Maybe that's me today, actually.
Okay.
Maybe that's the form of what I'm feeling right now, because I've kind of been feeling a little blue, not emotionally, but just kind of in this gray.
It could be. It could just be a rainy Monday too. Those are tough to take. But you just mentioned the vernal equinox.
Look at it.
Boom. First day of astronomical spring. Thursday comes in at 5:01 in the morning. So this is when the sun, direct rays on the equator, and the Earth starts to tilt towards the northern hemisphere, towards the sun. So we start, obviously hedging towards warmer days. So we have made it. Meteorological spring has began, and now astronomical spring coming this week.
And it will be an actual spring, like, basis of temperatures and conditions this week. We're going to have those mild days. We're going to have those pretty chilly nights. We'll be in the 30s here and there, but more 50s rather than the 40s. And actually, the only 40s that I have on the 7-day tier was actually on Friday with this system coming in.
Right. And a little interesting part of this system, perhaps at the very tail end, but not too dissimilar a system from what we're dealing with today. I don't know if there'll be quite as much rain, but a little low pressure forms on the front, much like it did this morning. And you see that little shade of blue and white.
Nope, we don't see it.
No. There's a chance on the tail end of this, on the back side of this on Friday, that this model may be a bit aggressive, but there could be a few wet flakes mixing in parts of central eastern Mass, especially in the elevated areas. So I know it's, it is March, like snow does occur in March. Yeah. Certainly not forecasting any accumulation, and again, more likely in the elevated areas than in Boston downtown. But just, something to be on the lookout Friday morning if you see a few sort of those, big fat flakes mixing in with the raindrops.
And don't be worried, folks, everybody, because, at this point in the year, even though we are prone to get these sort of pop-up snow events here and there, they don't actually stick around too much longer because our averages are warming up day to day. We have a lot more daylight here, obviously. And especially on a week like this week, daytime highs well above freezing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So nothing's really going to
even if worst case scenario, you would get a little bit of a coating somewhere, which again, if anywhere be in the elevated areas, it'll be gone in no time.
It could even be like this
absolutely.
background.
Last average inch was yesterday in Boston, so we're past the average last inch, and there's really nothing. Again, that Friday is certainly not an inch-worthy storm, so there's nothing in the offing for the next week or two. It's funny, we were talking in the weather office this morning about April. Yeah. And there have been some, if you've been cruising online, you maybe see a few polar vortex coming back in April. That's a long range forecast, but there are some signs that this warmth that we've had in March may not necessarily continue. There may be sort of an interruption in the month of April before we get full-fledged warm spring. I wouldn't read too much into these online folks who are saying, oh, it's going to be snowy April, or, but just something to keep in the back of your mind. I think that,
like the stock market, it could be a correction.
Exactly. It could be a little correction. We've been too warm. The atmosphere is going to correct. As usual, April in New England, if you've gone to a Red Sox game in April, it can be rather miserable. So let's just say that, wouldn't rule that out at this point. But again, wrapping up the March snowfall, we have had 0 inches, nothing this March, which is very similar to the last several.
Crazy.
March has just not been snowy here recently.
Crazy.
And again, we haven't seen anything on the way, so.
Knock on wood, we'll find some wood. I need my inaugural big snowstorm event since I've been here.
we have not had one. And then this week, the pattern kind of continues. We get another one of these cold fronts over the weekend with a little bit of a low pressure forming on it, so there could be a few more showers at some point this weekend. This one doesn't look quite as beefy as the other two, but just to say, kind of yet another chance for some showers either Saturday night or Sunday, maybe a few flurries up in the mountains. But again, even though we have all these storms, still pretty much, like you said, a mild week. Here's the best news of all.
Ooh,
this
look at
weekend,
that.
March 23rd is Sunday, I believe.
Yep, I do believe so.
7 p.m. sunset on Sunday. That is awesome.
This coming up Sunday, you say?
I believe.
That is correct.
Yes, March 23rd is Sunday. So that to me is terrific news, and won't be long before we get 6 a.m. sunrises and 7:30 p.m. sunsets. So we're making time really quick.
I can't even. This is enough to just run around and just be incredibly excited about.
Yep. One of the best times of year coming up, and we got so many things to look forward to. The equinox this week. Red Sox opening day is just a little over 2 weeks away. Boston Marathon. They're having a big 250th anniversary for Paul Revere's ride, which WBZ is kind of have a hand in Lexington and Concord, which is the same weekend as the Boston Marathon and Easter. So that's a big weekend.
Well, that's going to be a big week. Big week.
Yeah. So lots of good stuff coming up now. Again,
and I think we have Patriot Day
Yep.
coming up as well.
Yep, lots of good stuff. Yeah, good on you for remembering that. Here's your 7-day. You've had this on all morning, so I'll let you break it down.
Oh, here we go, everybody. Okay, so find your pick of the week and find the coldest one. Not any sort of major differences in terms of daytime highs this week. Thank goodness, though. We'll still likely hang out in the mid-50s tomorrow, albeit, though, with clouds thinning throughout the afternoon. We'll have a mostly dry day for us on Wednesday. That is actually going to be my pick of the week, and I think even Thursday is not going to be half bad. Before we start to have increasing cloud cover towards the tail end of our Thursday, that'll sort of ready set for some rainy weather expected on Friday. Again, this is going to be rain-cooled air. Could be breezy at times, which I don't think is going to be so far out of the question. But for the first full weekend of the spring season 2025, will be upon us for Saturday and Sunday. Both days, low 50s. Some decently chilly weather in the overnights, but you know, from my maple syrup segment, warmer spring days and chilly overnights make good for sort of releasing some of that sap.
And all of those temperatures on that 7-day were all above the average. So again, above average week. And we want to remind you, if you do like us, if you watch these videos on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. I actually was out this weekend and bumped into somebody who's like, hey, you're that guy on YouTube from WBZ. I'm like, get out of here. So we're getting recognized. It's starting to, it's starting to catch on.
It's starting to catch on. And we love it. We love it, everybody, too. So we always welcome the chat. We welcome the conversation because we're right along in it with you. We know you don't want snow, We kind of don't want it either, but we have to put up with it and guide you through it.
All right. Well, Jason will be on in 19 minutes on WBZ. Make sure you tune in then, and we'll give you an update on this coming up spring.
I'll have it for you guys. All right. Stay dry.